Hey guys, it's Gameface and welcome back to episode 11 of my Dortmund career. Now today's episode we're going to be finishing off the January transfer window, I hope anyway. We've got Hertha Berlin to play in the first game of today's episode as well. That's an away match. We've got an opportunity here for Fekir to get his debut in this episode as well. That's going to be to kick off today's episode. Really looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing how he gets on. Obviously a huge deal. Last episode I think we signed in 57 million, something like that, so a massive signing. Looking forward to using him in today's episode as well. Game against Freiburg for us to play. Don't know if we'll sim that or play it. Probably play it to be honest, but we'll wait and see when we get there. Maybe even getting into February for that game against Kiln, but I think it's likely we'll probably just have time to finish off the January transfer window. Obviously looking forward to trying to bring in another player or two maybe. I'll be interested to see exactly what sort of players we do end up bringing in come the end of today's episode, because I'm not 100% sure yet. It's more likely to be midfielders, especially if Sahin and Rode leave us, but we'll wait and find out. Before we get into today's episode though, if we could try and hit 100 likes, then I'd really appreciate it. Also, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already as well, and that'd be absolutely fantastic as well. I'm also on the road now to trying to hit 17,000 subscribers. Hit 16,000 not so long back. Now on the road to trying to hit 17, slowly going up step by step, and hopefully you guys can help out massively there. I really do appreciate the support on this series and the Newcastle one. This is the team going to go with pretty much the same team that you kind of got used to now, I suppose. Not too many changes. Fekir comes in at centre attacking mid. Castro starts rather than Weigl. Philip on the right hand side instead of Pulisic, so one or two tweaks, but nothing major. Those guys that have been dropped to the bench. Let's crack on with the game. Let's get Fekir his debut and see exactly how he gets on at the centre attacking mid position. Change formation obviously now to the 4-3 attack, and we'll wait and see whether he benefits from that. And yeah, looking forward to his first game as a Dortmund player. This is exciting stuff. Let's just hope he can perform now. It's a big price tag. Here we go. Very exciting game. I love it when you have a big signing like this, and it's an opportunity for them to sort of show what you've paid for, really. Let's just hope we've paid for a good quality player here in Fekir, because to be honest, I've never really used him in career, so it's a bit of a risky one. He just kind of fit what I was after. He's a big signing, good overall, good quality attributes as well. So I'm curious to see how he gets on this game. I'm just hoping that he plays well. Doesn't have to get a hat-trick or anything, although if he did, that would be very nice. And a chance for him early on, and he scores as well in his debut, exactly what I spoke about in the last episode. And it's essentially Batshuayi holding it up for Fekir to run in front of him and get a goal, and that's exactly what he's done. Just 4 minutes in, he's opened up perfectly for us. He's starting to repay the £57 million price tag already. But yeah, it's strange how it's exactly as I described it last episode. Batshuayi plays the hold-up play, and Fekir runs beyond him and scores. That's exactly what I wanted to happen, and it's worked very early on in this game. Goalkeeper can't quite get there. It's not right in the corner, but it's enough. And he scores on his first game inside 4 minutes. Really impressive start. Maybe he will get a hat-trick in this game at this rate. Yeah, he looks very lively. I like that a lot. Plenty of energy about him. Keeps winning back the ball as well. Philip wins it back. That's really good from him. He's had a lively start to this game as well. Look at these players going forward now. Batshuayi waiting for a 1-2 with him. Now he needs somebody else in the box. Can we find a cutback into Royce? And it's a little bit over him, but actually nearly scores there. The goalkeeper just about keeps hold of it. Good header from Royce. Like I say, it was a little bit too far behind him, but still got a good enough connection on it. Good chance here for the opposition to have maybe a shot from this free kick opportunity. Oh, not too far away at all. Underestimated where it would go, to be honest. I expected it to be near the goal, but not quite as near as it was in the end, and tested the goalkeeper. Castro running forward, waiting for Batshuayi with the pass. He's found Royce instead. Oh, back into Castro. Now Fekir going to try and turn and shoot. Oh, it's a second for him. He's definitely on for a hat-trick now. He gets 2 on his debut, and Fekir has done it. Really good turn and strike as well. Find himself a couple of inches of extra space here. It's a really tight sort of space to play in. Castro plays it back to him. Look at that for a turn. Maybe even through the player's legs there, actually. It's a really good spin. And I think it does go right the way through his legs. A little bit lucky, but finds a way through and scores past the goalkeeper 2-0. And that's his second goal 32 minutes in. He's certainly starting to pay back the price tag. Oh, what a pass through. Good chance here. Luckily, this shot is absolutely dreadful on his left foot. But it was a great chance, actually, for Hertha Berlin to run through and have a shot on goal. In the end, it's well wide, but certainly pulled us apart there and opened us up at the back. That's it for the first half. Still in the game 2-0. Obviously, 2 goals courtesy of Fekir, our new signing. Really impressive starts to his career in that first half. Looking to him to try and get a hat-trick if he can. Obviously, 45 minutes to try and do that. Really curious to see how he gets on. But yes, so far looks absolutely quality on the ball. He's not touched the ball loads, to be honest. Like, he hasn't been on it constantly. He's in that sort of position where you pick it up in key areas, and that's about it, really. But he does do a lot on the ball whenever he gets it. He always looks so lively, and that's exactly what I want to see from our players. Royce now going to switch it to Philip. He'll head it back across. Oh, that's what I mean from Fekir. Diving header. He's doing all sorts to get on the end of that, but unfortunately misses out, but was so close to it. Guerrero, who still seems to have some sort of injury, didn't really see him pick it up, to be honest, but he's still sort of struggling with that. Might take him off and bring on Derm, just to make sure he doesn't make the injury even worse, but I think the time will be probably around about now to make that change. So our first two changes, Derm and Weigl to come on. We'll take off Dahoud, who's booked, and Guerrero, who's a little bit injured, hopefully not too bad. And I don't think we'll make any other changes for now. The other change might be Kagawa, could be Rodrigo, Pulisic, Yarmolenko, anybody, to be totally honest. Not really too sure what to do with the final change, if anything. Fekir plays on to Philip. Now going to look back into Fekir, who's looked so lively in this game. Now going to go for a cross outside the foot into Royce. Oh, who heads so well. Saved by the keeper. Royce tries again. He'll be out for a corner anyway. What a ball from Fekir outside of the boot. You don't get much fancier than that. And it's going to be Royce or Castro to deliver. Royce maybe. Difficult to tell. I've lost my player names. What's going on here? Toljan going to cross in. Good chance here for Batshuayi. Connects with it. Was dipping over the goalkeeper who tips over the bar out for a corner. The player names are finally back. It is going to be Royce to deliver this corner into the front post. Oh, good flick on. I wasn't anticipating a flick on. I was just going for a header. But there we go. It was Castro, I think, at the front post who nodded it on, but went out anyway. Royce to come off. Yarmolenko to come on. He'll come on the left-hand side now. He's left-footed, so I think that's probably his preferred position, or at least in my preferred position for him anyway, even though he's a right winger. Played Weigl, looked very good since coming on. Now ball into Philip, he's in behind the fullback. Fekir needs to try and get in the box. I want to get a hat-trick with him. We're going to have to go alone, and I thought we'd scored. How have we missed? Wow, I was expecting it to be at least on target, and I was sure it was going in the back of the net there, but sadly just drags it a little bit. Batshuayi. Fekir going to have to produce something special here. He's going for a shot. Castro nod on. Yarmolenko, oh, just allows it to go across his body. It's a good strike. Great connection with it, but saved by the keeper. And that's going to be hopefully kept alive by us. Is the offside though? Yeah. That's it. We've got ourselves a 2-0 victory. And it's Fekir that's won us the 3 points there. 2 goals on his debut. Can't really ask for much more than that really from him. Fantastic performance. Plays the full 90 minutes and gets himself a brace as well. So a really good start to his career. Fantastic to see him getting a couple of goals. You can see him celebrating there. Looks actually pretty good in the Dortmund kit. Seems to fit in quite well there. So pretty impressive stuff from him. Just has a bit of flair on the ball. You saw the outside of the boot cross as well. Incredible performance from him, especially in the first half anyway. We just dominated. 2 shots from the opposition. That was it. They could have really scored one of them, but it was blazed miles wide in the end. 12 shots from us, 6 on target. Pretty good. Obviously, you know, we probably could have looked to maybe get one more goal, but we'll take the 2-0 victory anyway. That victory puts us 13 points in front of Bayern Munich. That lead's just getting extended because Bayern are so inconsistent this season. Everyone are, to be honest, beneath us. So the rest of the league basically have been very inconsistent this season, so it's allowing us to get ahead of them by quite a margin now. Our young goalkeeper goes up this week yet again. He's having a fantastic few weeks for us here. Continues to go up again, and Bestie went up to 63 overall as well. He's starting to grow nicely, so I look forward to incorporating those guys a little bit more. It's difficult sometimes though, obviously, when they don't have fantastic stats, but especially that young goalkeeper, he looks like a really good player for us in our youth academy. Guerrero's going to be out for 3 weeks with a sprained knee. Did seem like he was struggling a little bit. Rodrigo disappointed not to start. Yeah, I was supposed to bring him on actually. I forgot about that, but there you go. He'll play very, very shortly, I'm sure. But yeah, we will for now continue with Batshuayi up front. Obviously, we want to put our best team out. So we're going to get a similar 5 days or so. We might even have time to actually play the game against Freiburg before we get a scout report back on Den Docker, because I think it's important to get his overall back and his stats and everything back properly before we make any sort of offer for him. There's plenty of time left, I think, still in this window. Should be about 10 days, is there? Okay, maybe not quite as much as I thought. We should still have enough time, really, to be able to sign a centre-mid with the final 2 days of the transfer window. Hopefully we can do that anyway. We're certainly looking to try and get rid of Sahin and maybe even Roda as well. So we'll see what happens there, but it probably will go down to the final couple of days, and we'll see whether we can get a deal done. Probably bring in 1 or 2 centre-mids. We'll wait and see anyway. Bid in for Roda as well, which is good. That's nice to see that happen. And it's from Leipzig, one of our rivals, for the amount that he's worth. Now, because Leipzig have a bit of cash about them, we are going to negotiate here and hopefully get a little bit more money for him. We're going to ask for about 14 million and see what they say to that. So yeah, let's submit 14 million pounds. Hopefully we're not too far away. Oh, okay, 10.9. It's just a bit of a strange one. I want a little bit more than that. Okay, we'll go 12 just so we can try and get him out the door. That's just what we want them to accept now. And there we go, £12 million we get for him. Pretty happy with it. Did I just see something's happening with Kagawa as well? I'm pretty sure I did. Has his release clause been met? Has he got a release clause? Pretty sure I just saw something was going on here. Yes, the Spurs have met his release clause. Again, I've not been told about it. It's not good. I don't think I chose to offer my contract, though, and I had the option to, so maybe we can negotiate again. Don't want this to happen like it did with Gertz the last episode. Now, what we can do is offer Kagawa a new deal. We can do that if we want to. However, we also have to think about £39 million for a 28-year-old bench player. We have to also think about that as well. So it's a really difficult decision as this one. Ideally, in this case, I would ask you guys your opinion, but there's no way of that being able to happen in today's episode. So I've really got to make the decision by myself, which means it's a very tricky one. £39 million is a lot of money for Kagawa, and so it's very, very tempting. Spurs, again, trying to sign another one of our players. They bought Gertz as well, didn't they? I've just realised that. They paid £75 million for him, and they're trying to pay another release clause for another one of our players. This time it's 39, so they're really splashing the cash and giving us plenty of it as well. But it's a lot of money, is that? £39 million for a 28-year-old who's only going to go down in overall and stats, and he's a bench player. I'm certainly warming to the idea of letting him go. His value is £23 million. This is a really tricky one. But at the same time, he is a Dortmund player in real life, and so I do want to try and keep things fairly realistic. So it's a really difficult one. I kind of feel like we're going to be having a whole new midfield at this rate, because we've also got Roda leaving as well in the near future, if not this window, and Sahin probably as well. So there's going to be a lot of players missing from this Dortmund midfield. Kagawa, though, it's a lot of money, is that? A lot of money. I think we'll wait and see. I think, to be honest, we might just let him go for 39 reluctantly, but I think we might. We can always sign it back if you guys really, really want to see him stay at the club, but I think 39 million, you can't really turn that down. So it's his release clause as well, which is, I think, a good amount to get for him. We have been scouting a few centre-mids again, just trying to find a good option for us in there. Looking at some younger players here in particular. This guy looks really, really good at Borussia Mönchengladbach. There's a few other players as well, obviously more experienced and better overalls. I'm looking at Sanson and Rabiot being two of them. Those guys might well come in as replacements for Kagawa, Roda, Sahin, these players that are all seeming to be leaving soon. I think it might be worth us simming this game against Freiburg rather than playing it. It's a home match. It's one that we should definitely win, and obviously there's a lot of transfers to now be sorted out, especially with that big change to what's going to happen now towards the end of this window, with the release clause being met for Kagawa. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll sim the game. We'll go with a strong team again, though, so no real problems with having to do that. We'll start Rodrigo over Batshuayi, and we'll sim the match. Okay, then let's see how we get on with this game against Freiburg. Try and get ourselves a good victory if we can. Philip scores after 6 minutes. Fekir gets a straight red. That's him suspended for a game. It's a little bit frustrating. They also get an equaliser now as well, so we're down to 10 men for a long period of this game. 80 minutes, in fact, into the second half. Still 1-1 for now. Rodrigo puts us in front, 2-1. 30 minutes left of this game. Still looks to try and hold on to our lead, if not add to it if possible. 15 minutes left, and we've added a third. There we go. Philip gets his second of the game. That should be it now, and the game will finish 3-1. Just about got ourselves a victory, despite going down to 10 men. Obviously, Fekir getting a straight red's disappointing, and means that he misses the next match we play with him. Good to doubt that, because he has also been performing very well, but I'm sure we'll have new signings in the door to be able to replace him. Okay, so let's try and sort everything out now. We found out 2 days later that the release clause has been paid for Kagawa, which is a little bit disappointing. You'd expect that you get told on the day. I mean, that's what you'd expect anyway, but whatever. It has been met, £39.1 million. We can negotiate a new contract. I don't think we're going to. We're going to see whether that one is accepted. I assume it's going to go through, to be honest, but we'll wait and see. Sané says he's not happy with his role at the club. We'll try and get him into some more games. It's obviously difficult when he's clearly our third choice centre-back. Bidding for Guerrero, definitely a player I don't want to get rid of. He's injured at the moment as well, so it's a strange time to offer us an amount. But it is a decent amount of money, isn't it? £28 million. Not going to be persuaded by that, though. He's not one of the players I'm keen to get rid of. Player suspended, that's obviously Fekir out for a match. And yeah, Kagawa's release clause being paid. So we'll wait and see the next couple of days when he leaves, assuming that he does. And we'll look to bring in maybe even all three of these centre-mids. Also got Roda as well, who could potentially leave in the next couple of days. So a lot happening. Sahin's still a player that could well leave. He might even leave as part of one of the deals. So yeah, we'll wait and see. And in fact, speaking of him, we get a bid in for him from Milan. Not going to bother negotiating, just going to accept it, try and get things moving so we can move these three players on and try and bring in three players to replace them. A lot of transfers to be done before the deadline. Okay, Roda's been sold. We get £9.5 million from that deal. He goes off and joins Leipzig, one of our rivals. Bidding for Durm, not a player I'm keen to get rid of at all. Maybe next season, but not now when we have other midfielders that we're trying to bring in and loads of other deals happening. Certainly no interest now. Peru want me. It's a strange time. Don't contact me about being the Peru manager right now. I'm trying to get signings in. Den Docker, got a report back on him. Looks pretty good actually. 79 overall, £13 million. Very much a holding midfielder though, isn't he? Stats-wise, he's not really going to light us up going forward, but it's definitely a good stable option for the back. It's whether we really need that. Obviously, Roda leaving, Sahin leaving, I probably do need a holding midfielder. So I think we're going to sign Dendoncker. We're also going to sign Sanson, I think, as well. And then it's between Rabiot and this other guy that I can't pronounce the name of. Okay, so we just need to get some deals signed now with obviously Roda leaving. We are going to try and bring in Dendoncker as his direct replacement. So we're going to try and put in a £15 million bid. We're not going to bother with paying the release clause. I want to try and get him for as cheap as possible. And so we'll see exactly what happens with this deal with Anderlecht. Let's try and get for around £15 million is what our bid is going to be initially. Hopefully we're not too far away from the mark. I like to try and get the deals done as quickly as possible, ideally. And they want 19.8. Okay, so we could have just paid his release clause. Still going to try and get for less than his release clause, though. Let's see whether we can. 16.5. Should be more like it. Hopefully not too far away. Still sticking at 19.8. Okay, that's not helpful. 17.8. We can't be too far off now. There we go. Fair offer. Deal's been agreed. A little bit more than I wanted to pay, but we'll go with it anyway, and hopefully now try and get his contract sorted. Okay, so he wants to be a rotation player. Happy to give him that. I was going to give him important, but rotation will do. And what is his contract going to be like? I think 5-year deal, given the fact he's 22 years old. And he's agreed to that, and no release clause. That's good news. Let's accept that. Let's get moving on to his current wage. He wants 39 grand. Okay. It's a little bit more than I wanted to pay. Let's get more sort of wanting 35. Let's see what they say to that. Hopefully we're not too far away from it and something can be negotiated. Or not. Let's stick here at 39. We'll just accept it, get that deal done and move on to other players now. So Dendoncker joins us. That's the direct replacement for Roda sorted. Now going to look at whether Sahin leaves and obviously Kagawa as well, who probably will leave in the next day. Yeah, so I think for the Kagawa replacement, we're going to look at this guy here, Sanson. Obviously plays for Marseille, a little bit of a different sort of transfer you could say as well, but we're going to go with it. We're going to try and bring him in. I think we've got enough money to be able to do that now as well. We should do. I think we had 50 million before, so we should be fine. We'll approach to sign him, hopefully about 25, 30 million pounds. But I think Kagawa, sort of his replacement has to be someone that's equally as sort of fast and agile on the ball. And I think this is what this guy offers as well. He's a little bit younger, which is quite nice. So we'll go with a £22 million bid to begin with. Hopefully that doesn't scare them off too much. We might actually have to increase that. We'll go 24, so we don't really mess about too much. Let's see what they say. 28.6 and a sell-on clause. Everyone wants a sell-on clause. We'll go 26.8 as our next offer. We shouldn't be too far away now. Okay, that's been accepted. Let's move on to his wage. We're going to try and get these deals done pretty quickly as deadline day is, I think, tomorrow now. Okay, so we are going to give him an important first-team role in the squad. I think that's going to be fair. He's going to probably be on the bench. Similar sort of role to Kagawa. And we are going to then offer him, I want to go 5-year deal. We'll see what he says. Maybe he wants 4. 5 seems okay. That's good news. No release clause, that's even better news for us. And his wage just under 30 grand at the moment. He wants 46, and he wants an appearance bonuses as well. To be honest, I'm not going to waste too much time again. We're literally just going to ask for the wage to be down to 45, just so it's a nicer amount. Let's see what he says to that. Should be agreed. Okay, no, he wants an extra grand a week. Let's accept that. Let's get him signed up. And that's another signing for us to make here. Signing a couple of midfielders, obviously late on, having to replace the guys that are going to be inevitably leaving. But very happy with the signs that we've made. Fekir joining us so far as well last episode. Then Docker obviously just coming in now, as well as Sanson. So those guys come in to really sort of beef our midfield up a little bit. We're now going to sim another day, just make sure that those deals are definitely going through. Don't want to be signing players unnecessarily, especially if Kagawa and the deal for Sahin doesn't end up going through. Then we've just signed 2 new midfielders for nothing. Also, quick note, Ericsson went to Man City for just under £100 million. Crazy deal. £99.9 million that deal goes through for. And we have just seen Kagawa leave us. That's £40 million in the bag, or 35 actually. The board keeping some of it, but yeah, very happy to see him go. And I mean, I say happy to see him go. Happy to see that amount of money come in. Bit of a shame for him to go, really, but his release clause was met, and I chose not to offer him a new deal due to his age and other factors as well. So pretty happy with that. Leaves us with £50 million still to spend, and a good few players coming in as well. Happy with those youngsters that join us. Still obviously not quite his level just yet, but I'm sure in a couple of years' time they certainly will be. Dendoncker certainly coming as a Roda replacement, not as a Kagawa one, but this guy's more sort of Kagawa standard and fits his sort of attributes. This is interesting, so I'm going to try and make a move here for this youngster. He's 18 years old, 71 overall. He's a centre mid that I was looking at before. The club don't want to get rid of him, but we can pay his release clause. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to pay £7.2 million, skip the negotiations with the club because they don't even want to get rid of him. We want him though, and so we're going to try and sign him here. We're paying the £7.2 million to do it. Not going to bring in the other guys I mentioned. there's no real point. I've looked at the squad. If Rabiot comes in, then he's basically going to be on the bench or reserves. Can't really afford to do that with such an expensive player. So we're going with the youngster instead to come and play as more of a squad role for us whenever we need him. So we're going to try and sign him up here. Currently on 11.5 grand. We're going to negotiate directly with him, try and get him in on transfer deadline day, and that will be the third and final signing for us. So we're going to offer him a rotation in the squad. Hopefully that's okay. Yes, he accepts that. 5-year contract is what he wants. That's really good news for us. Hopefully no release clause. Let's disregard that, and let's move on to his salary. We'll just go literally 20 grand, near enough doubling it for him. Is he going to accept? No, he wants 15.5. He wants an appearance bonus and a sign-on bonus. We'll accept it. No point wasting any time here. And he joins us. So 3 transfers made very, very late on in the window. Obviously, didn't quite expect so many deals to go through. And in fact, the Sahin deal still hasn't gone through, but should happen in the next couple of hours unless transfer talks break down, in which case he's still at the club. So we'll see what happens anyway. Still a final few hours to see exactly what happens. Man City go in for Piszczek. If only it had been a little bit earlier on in the window, maybe we would have accepted it. But again, that one I think will wait until the summer when we'll replace Durm and Piszczek, bring in new fullbacks. For now, though, I think it's a little bit too soon to do that. Piszczek's still doing all right for us. 7 hours left. Sahin's deal still not confirmed. I think it was Milan he was due to go to. Still not confirmed, though, so we'll wait and see exactly whether it goes through or not. And he has been sold, as we say that. With 6 hours to go, Sahin leaves for Milan, and that's another player at the door for us in this window. £8 million added onto our budget. And it leaves us with £50 million still to spend if we really wanted to, but no intentions of signing anybody else, I don't think, at this point. That might not be it for transfers in this transfer window, I think. There's 6 hours left, and I think we might be signing some pre-contract agreements. I've just literally thought about Batshuayi leaving next season. We don't really have anybody set up just yet. We've got £50 million in the bank, and I think it'd be wrong to not use that money to think about next season as well. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at some pre-contract agreements. I've shortlisted some guys. I think we might be bringing in some players here to try and help us out. So I think we're going to try and bring in, this is the only striker option that I could find that would be helpful for next season, but not come in this season, if that makes sense. Again, maybe a bit of a strange one. He hasn't been in this league before, and so I think it'd be quite a nice way to end his career. Zlatan. I mean, it's different. It's different, certainly different. He's obviously going to go down in overall, but if he can just play a season for us, not necessarily as our starting striker or anything like that, but just dipping in and out of the team, then I think that'll be really good. We're going to approach to sign him, see exactly what happens, and hopefully have him for next season. But yeah, not being in the Bundesliga, so I think it'd be good for him to try out another top-class league. He's going to get a crucial first-team player for us. I mean, we'll tell that to his face. We won't obviously be playing him every single game, but yeah, obviously if we can't sign Batshuayi permanently next season, then we do need somebody else. Zlatan will fit the role, I think, for a year. We'll offer him a 2-year contract. What's he said to that? Yeah, okay. 2-year contract will be good. No release clause. Accept that. And he will hopefully join us on 170 grand a week. Signing on bonus, 20 goal bonus as well. That's a big bonus on the goals. I don't see him scoring that many, so we have to accept it. Let's see how he gets on there. Zlatan joins us next season. Bit of a strange one, I appreciate that, but I do like to make difference on the transfers going into Season 2. That's exactly what's going to happen. He'll join us next season, probably for a year, then he might retire or whatever, but yeah, good to see him joining us ready for next season. Looking forward to using him eventually. It's going to be strange to see him in the Dortmund kit eventually as well. But this is just sort of preparing whilst we have the money. We don't really know how much cash we're going to have next season. There's a few other players as well I've been taking a look at. This guy is another player we're taking a look at as well. Not too sure exactly on his overall, but I think he's about 80, 81 overall, potential about 85 as well. So it could be a good option for us next season. Can play throughout the midfield, and again, could be a good option, as could Casillas as well. Another player that's a little bit older, I appreciate that. Again, not as a starting 11 goalkeeper, someone to replace Weidenfeller, who's going down in overall as he's got older. Casillas will do the exact same, but he's a better overall, basically, so he'd be our second choice keeper. And I think we are going to approach to sign him as well. I'd just quite like to have him at the club for a year again, just as a backup player. So we're going to offer him a rotation role. He wants an important, that's understandable. Go with important. He's essentially just going to replace Weidenfeller, who's going to leave next season. He's going to have a 1-year contract as well. I think that's fair enough, to be honest. I don't expect him to stay any longer than just a season. It's literally just so he dips in and out of the team a little bit. We'll accept no release clause, of course, as well. And that should be him near enough joining here. Currently on a wage of 8 grand. We'll offer him 10, hopefully get that deal sorted. What's he going to say to that? 9.5 and a signing on bonus. get as much money as he possibly can. Although he did ask for less on his wage, but he joins us again next season. These might seem like two bizarre deals, but like I say, they're really just for one-off seasons next time round, and to make sure we definitely have some players in to fill key spaces in the team. We're also going to look at this centre-back as well. He can join for a free. Would like to see him join us as well. Devin, another good talented player, another player that I think will be a really good asset to the team, especially if Sané's considering leaving. I think we've got to have a backup option. That's exactly what we're going to go for here. Hopefully try and bring him in ready for next season. I think his name's pronounced Devin, is it? Or Devin, something like that. Let me know in the comment section below if I'm getting that wrong. I'll call him Stefan for now. That's probably a little bit easier. And we'll go for probably crucial first team player, given the fact he's 85 overall. He'll accept that, and a 5-year contract. Happy to hear that. Definitely wants him at the club for as long as possible. No release clause, that's perfect. And now onto his wage. Okay, so we'll go for a wage of about 80 grand. We'll see what he says to that. It's obviously an increase. How much more does he want? In fact, he wants just $1 grand more than what he's currently on. And a clean sheets bonus of £1.75 million. Understandable. I'm pretty happy to give him that, to be honest. I think it's a fair enough amount. I'm not going to bother negotiating. I think we've got more important deals to be done. And so happy to see him also join us ready for next season. So we've got Zlatan, Devin, Casillas all joining us ready for the new season. Looking forward to that. He rejected PSG for us, so pretty impressive stuff. And he'll be hopefully a really rock-solid player at the back for us for years to come. Probably alongside Socrates, although there's also Toprak and maybe Sané if he's here next season. But yeah, it's about this guy now. Do I try and bring him in for next season as well? I don't want to sort of overload the signings on pre-contract agreements, but it certainly makes sense whilst we have the money. I think we are going to go for it. I think he's quite a good talented player in this game, so we're going to again try and bring him in. Lots of big deals to be done in today's episode. Unbelievable. Wasn't expecting these deals to be done at the end either. Important first team players, what we'll go with. I think he could be a good asset to the team, particularly off the bench, I'd say. And we will then move on to his contract. He's 25 years old, we'll go 4-year deal. Hopefully he's okay with that, and he is. No release clause as well, so happy about that. And let's move on now to the contract, 89 grand. A little bit more than I was anticipating. Edit the wage, and we'll go with, I think, 85. Not much of a difference, but we're going to go with it anyway. And he's decreased his own wage to 82 now. Makes no sense, but he's added on an appearance bonus instead. I'm happy to give him that. We'll just go ahead with it, and we'll sign him up, ready for next season. Big deals done here. 4 deals ready for the new year. Obviously some older players coming in as well as 2 25-year-olds. Very happy with those 2 signings in particular. Casillas and Zlatan, again, I repeat, they are only coming in for probably a season. Zlatan maybe could survive too, but again, he's only going to be here as an in-and-out sort of player in this squad, not as a starter, I don't imagine, unless we can't get another striker, of course. But have to also think about the fact that Batshuayi will be leaving when his loan finishes at the end of the season. So preparing for that, basically. Happy with those signings, and we will now end the window with the 6 hours left. Happy with those 4 signings ready for the new season. Obviously the midfielders that came in as well. And that will be all we have time for as well. So many deals, so many more than I was anticipating as well. It's kind of got a little bit out of hand actually in today's episode, but happy with who we brought in. And hopefully that'll make us a really strong team going in for the rest of the season and also next season as well. A late offer in for Durm. Again, it's too late in the window for all that. He'll be sorted out next season. Same with Pizchek. And let's sim past the final hour of the transfer window. Crazy transfer window for us really, especially this episode. Gagawa left as well. That was unexpected. Just under £40 million for him. Batshuayi gets Player of the Month. Really good news for us. Good to see our players getting Player of the Month as well. Shows that they are performing and scoring goals in his case. Obviously on 11, that's the top goal scorer in the league. And that's everything for today's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If we could try and hit 100 likes on today's episode, then I'd really appreciate it. Also, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already as well, and that'd be absolutely fantastic too. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.